any information forward yet to ascertain whether it's truthful or not.
I'm tired of this Australian just yapping. You're a little man.
Because he speaks the truth and you realise you're a doormat.
Wait, in Flat Earth world, Australia doesn't even exist. You know that, right?
You're retarded.
You came first in special ed, didn't you?
The irony of some Flat Earthers calling me retarded. Wow, that's a new level.
No, Matrix, he came dead ass last in special ed. That's how special he is, too.
Hey, little woman, you better watch your mouth. Okay?
Hey, little woman, you silly knuckle-headed chuckle fuck you.
Like, you guys are so cool saying these, but in real life you'd be scared of me.
I know, isn't it great? Isn't it great? So, why do you think the Earth's a globe, bro?
First of all, I need you to apologize for what you just said.
First of all, I need you to have some thicker skin. So, why do you think the Earth's a globe?
Well, Mars.
Because the evidence points to it, you idiot.
So wait. Did you just look away from the surface of Earth and point to the sky? To
well, you just said
tell me why you think Earth is a globe?
I said the evidence points to it, you monkey.
Yep.
It doesn't
What
have
evidence?
any evidence.
Oh,
just
like
those
what
words.
Evidence,
The
right?
evidence.
What?
Okay,
Yeah,
let me provide the evidence again, as always.
Right?
I'm about
What
to
would
provide
be
it.
your standard
Hey, slim it down.
evidence?
Slim it down, little guy. Slim it down.
Would it be?
What evidence?
Slim it down. Okay, I'm providing.
Yeah, I'm pretty simmered down because you're still in
Slim
here.
it down,
That's
little
how I
man.
know I'm pretty calm at the moment. When I lose
Little
my
man.
shit, we lose people out of this panel. So,
Yeah.
you've claimed all the evidence points to it, and I would like to know what evidence. It's a very simple question. Please.
Yeah, I'm providing it right now in the side chat.
This is
You
going to
little
be
man.
So your standard of evidence is a CGI image of a ball tard.
It's not a boltard, it's a picture of Earth, you asshole.
Actually, it's not a picture of Earth. It's not even a photo of Earth. Here's the thing:
Why is
I
this
pressed
little woman
AI,
talking
and
to me?
I pressed a few different AI chats to give me a real photo of the whole globe, and it couldn't do it. And you know what it came back and told me after I pressed it and pressed it and pressed it? I said, "So you're telling me that there's not a single real photo of the globe Earth?" And it tells me that's correct. They're all composite and CGI. So don't you think that I would have gotten that picture there that you posted? Upon pressing the AI, why wouldn't the AI give me that if that is an official photo? How come it didn't give me that?
What AI does is generate pictures. It doesn't actually take them from online and then post it, you monkey. Let's use our brain here.
It won't tell you that there's any real photos.
You're saying NASA's lying? Oh my god, use your brain. Please.
I mean, you want to prove that NASA's telling the truth? Go ahead. Go ahead and prove that NASA's telling the truth. We got Robert Simmons, right? The creator of the Blue Marble, who says that it's photoshopped, but because it has to be.
No, he didn't. You're wrong. See, little woman, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm not wrong. You can find it. You can find the video of him himself.
He didn't say that about the 1972.
Actually saying that it's photoshopped because it has to be.
He didn't say that about the 1972. You monkey. Please, actually pay attention to which picture I sent. Let's use our brain here.
Where was that picture taken from?
Yeah.
What was which picture? The one that I sent, or the one she's talking about?
The one you sent.
It's not a real photo, you monkey.
Can you shut up and let me talk to the guy, the man here, okay? He has more brain cells than you.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. He has more brain cells than you.
It's going to be taken from outer space.
Oh, okay. So that is a place that cannot exist.
Okay, I guess when I look up and I see the stars, I'm seeing nothing because the outer space doesn't exist. Nice. I take it back. He doesn't have any brain cells. He's also retarded.
Well, what is outer space? Relax. What is outer space? What is it?
This is kind of like self-evident, primitive, right? This outer space. It's outer space.
What is it?
I don't know. What more do you want from me? It's outer space. It's outer.
Is that it?
The name started descriptive. Outer space.
Yeah, I don't know where that is or what that is. Can you just elaborate, please? I'm retarded. I have no brain cells.
You're right, I should have. Okay, it's just going to be any sort of place that is beyond Earth atmosphere.
And where is that?
Wait, I just told you, right? Beyond Earth atmosphere.
Earth what?
Atmosphere.
Earth atmosphere.
Relax, you're getting your words mixed up. You need to really calm
I
down
just
here.
said beyond. Wait, if you know I'm getting it mixed up, then you should already know what I'm saying, right? For you to make that assumption.
I'm just trying to help you. Relax. You need to really calm down, my friend. You're very agitated.
Slimmer down, little man.
Slimmer? You mean simmer?
Slimmer down.
See, you're even getting
Slimmer
that mixed up. English is not my first language, and even I know it is simmer down, not slimmer down.
Slimmer down, little
That's
man.
why you're very agitated. You're getting very basic English things wrong.
Little man, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? Relax.
I just gave you a very basic lesson in English. Now, is outer space, what is that? What is it?
I just said it. I just said.
Okay,
Dude,
maybe you need to let Jenna. Maybe you need to let Jenna educate you on what outer space is said to be.
Down.
Yeah, so outer space is this weird, like, it's functioning on theoretical physics, right? And you've got this like pressure system directly adjacent to the vacuum of space. And I'm just wondering, would you be able to demonstrate that?
Wow, you're asking for the impossible, Jenna. You're asking him to demonstrate a second law of thermodynamics violation. It is not going to happen, but let's see what he has.
Exactly.
It's clear and obvious this guy's language is not English, right?
Yeah, that's irrelevant to the topic, right? So on a globe Earth, you've got a pressure system directly adjacent to the vacuum of space, right? And so, in other words, what we're trying to say is this is it's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. It's a violation of entropy.
Wrong.
Yeah, so to go full circle, what she's trying to say is what I said originally.
We don't need your help, buddy.
That place that you were saying that these photos were taken from cannot exist.
Okay, ping me
so
when
now we have come full circle, so I hope you understand what was said to you.
Okay. He's giving... Okay, he stopped. No more speech. Thank you. So yeah, what you're asking for, demonstration of outer space, doesn't actually make any sort of sense. You don't demonstrate a physical object. You don't demonstrate anything that's going to be physical. You just show it.
Yeah, actually, that's what you do, in fact, demonstrate. You should be able to physically demonstrate things of the physical world. Physically demonstrate it. Show it. You should be able to physically show things about the physical world.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look up.
Yeah, that's what a demonstration is. Wow. Oh my God.
Hey, okay, then I'm doing it right now, right? Look up. That's it. Game over. I win, little woman. I won. How do you feel about that?
That's not a demonstration, little man. That's an observation. You're cooked. You're done.
I just looked up and it's daytime. I don't see stars, so what? No space?
Yeah, he doesn't know the difference between demonstrations and observations, and he made that very clear.
Wait, if you don't observe it, it's not a demonstration. Like, what?
Wow, you're just as lost as he is.
Articulate the difference then.
You don't know the difference between a demonstration and an observation? A demonstration is something I would do to show, right? It's show and tell. You make a demonstration. An observation is something that I would go and see, right? Seeing and showing are not the same thing. Therefore, demonstration and observation are not the same damn thing. How are you confused?
Okay, well, how do you demonstrate a place to somebody? How would you do that?
I'm asking you guys that. How would you demonstrate a pressure system directly adjacent to a vacuum without a container? How would you do that? to separate the two.
Okay, so what's the issue with having pressure again?
No. Don't ask questions to my questions. Just answer my question.
Okay, if I were to demonstrate space, I would probably get someone to look at it, make an observation of it.
No.
And so there you go.
No.
I'm
Those
going
are
to
not the
observe a
same
near
thing.
perfect vacuum. What are you going to do?
Okay, so now we're not talking about
like,
place.
okay, see, folks, here we have a vacuum.
Yeah, we're not talking about a place then. We're talking about a state, a condition, that being a vacuum.
You're just going to look at it.
So that's different.
Just going to look at it.
But
And
now
conclude,
it's
yep,
an
that's a
issue
vacuum.
because there is no violation of the second law of thermodynamics because there's a gradient. It's not a pure vacuum.
A gradient.
Next to a freaking pressurized container atmosphere. That's not how that works.
Hey, Carla, while you're sucking in oxygen, what's the antecedent to the pressure gradient?
There is no antecedent.
You're a fool.
Wait. Go ahead and tell me.
Show me a gas pressure gradient next.
But that doesn't make any sense. You guys don't know what you're saying. You understand? You're roboting, bro. You understand what you just said? What's the antecedent to gradient? Right? That means if there's a container,
gas pressure gradient.
No,
what do you need in order for you to have your gas pressure gradient, Carter?
The antecedent would be the gradient. You guys don't know logic.
No, dude, the antecedent. Yeah, so what comes before the gradient? It's the gradient, Carter? That's not coherent, dude.
No.
That's what you just
conditional.
said.
Your conditional is this: if container, then gradient. That doesn't make any sense.
No, if
that's not what we said.
Antecedent, right?
Okay, so you need the pressure to have the gradient. What do you need before you have the pressure?
Yeah.
How do you get the pressure?
Okay, well that's not conditional; it's a biconditional. So get it right. If you're saying they both tie to each other like that bidirectionally.
What the fuck, dude?
How about you start listening? You made the claim of a gas pressure gradient. In order for you to have gradient, you must have gas pressure. Right?
Not true. Demonstrate that in all cases.
You just said it's not true. In order to have a gas pressure gradient, you do not need gas pressure, is what you just said.
Wait, no. Okay, maybe I misheard.
You're not listening. Yeah, you're not following.
I thought you said container. But no, I agree with that.
You will need the container ultimately because you have to have that for the gas pressure to begin with.
No.
So no gradients because those require the pressure, as you already acknowledged.
Yeah.
You get the pressure, you're going to need a container.
There's no reason to assume that you need a container.
What's gas pressure, dude? What is it?
Gas under pressure. The fuck?
Now, what is it? What's the definition? Is that what it says when you Google it?
It doesn't matter
That's what you
the
got.
actual dictionary definition
it kind of matters what it is, dude.
No.
It doesn't matter what it is?
If it's containerized, right? We don't have to say in every case of gas pressure there is a container.
What is gas pressure?
Pressure.
Okay, what is pressure? Let's talk about that. Pressure is a force acting on an area.
Talking about a specific form.
Pressure is a force. Pressure is a force acting on an area, right?
No, what is gas pressure? I'm asking you that. Why are you pivoting to something else? I'm talking about something specific.
It's the same concept, except we're talking about a fluid. It's a force
it's the same thing. Then why can't you talk about the specific case of it that we're talking about? Why are you trying to pivot off to something else?
Because you guys are making the generalization of anytime there's pressure.
You're trying to generalize it into pressure, dude. We're talking about gas pressure specifically. You're trying to generalize it to just pressure. What is gas pressure?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're making an assumption that it has to be a container when really it's just a force.
I'm asking you what gas pressure is, and you're still babbling.
I've already answered. It's a force acting on a gas, a fluid.
No, it's not acting on the fucking gas.
Yes, it is. And the container acts as that force because of Newton's third law. But it's still a force. It's fundamentally a force.
It's a force exerted on a container by the gas.
Do you think you can exert a force on a fluid? Do you think that?
It's a force. Why are you asking me questions, dude? It's a force exerted on a container by the gas itself. So how are you going to have that without the container? You have a force on a container with no container? That's what you've been sitting here saying.
Okay, yeah, you can have a force acting on something. Okay. You're saying you need a container anytime you have a force?
No, I said you would need a container for gas pressure, which is a force acting on a container by definition.
What's the difference? Why do you need a container? Why can't you just have a force?
Because that's what it is, dude. It's a force on a container.
Why are you appealing to some definition? Why can't you imagine what's actually going on?
Why am I appealing to the definition of the very thing that we're talking about? Because that's what we're talking about.
You're being obtuse. Just think about what the definition is talking about and then talk about that. It's talking about a force.
It's a force on a container, specifically. That's what it's defined as.
No.
You're trying to tell us, essentially, you can have a force on a container without a container.
If there was no container, there would be no force, but that's because...
Okay, here you go.
Okay, in this case, there is no container, but there is a force.
Yeah,
there is a force, though, and it's called gravity.
Okay, yeah, I give up. I fucked up. You said what I needed you to say. Yeah, you said it for me. That's fine. There's no point going on from there. So, thanks for pointing out the gas pressure gradient, because ultimately you're going to need a container for that.
You don't. Why do you think?
Why do you think went through it?
Why do you think you need a container for the gradient?
I just went through it.
Okay, let's think about this. At the very edge, right, where the gradient is like, okay, at the very edge of the gradient, it's like there's no gas there almost, right? If we're talking about an actual gradient.
Where's that?
Okay, do you know what a gradient is? Do you know what a gradient is or no?
Why are you asking me that question? I'm asking where the edge of your gradient is. Are you in your imagination right now, or is this something you can demonstrate?
Abstractly, right? You have a gradient, and then at the very end, it's like there's nothing there, and at the start, there's a bunch of stuff, right? That's the gradient. In this case, it's gas.
You've got a gradient of a force exerted on a container, and at the end of that gradient, you're going to have what? No container?
What happens if you just have the force and no container? Do you think just the universe explodes or what? What is the container actually doing?
If you have the force on the container and no container, the universe explodes?
That's what you think, because
I think to have the force on the container, you're going to need the container.
Why do you need a container? Why can't you just have the force?
Because it's a force. Because it's a force on a container. So you probably need a container for that.
Why do you need a container? You're just being circular.
That's what it is a force on a container.
No, dude, you're appealing to some definition.
Hey, Carter, think about it. PSI, pounds per square inch. Square inch of what?
Of the ground.
Of the ground.
Yeah, hey, if there was no ground, then there would be no pressure. That's true.
So you're telling me I can go down the street and buy an oxy bottle, which has got 5,000 watt PSI in it?
Yep.
It's not on the ground. I've got it on my shoulder carrying the fucking thing.
Okay, well, I didn't say there weren't cases where there's a container of pressurized gas. I never said that. I'm just saying it's not a universal statement. It's a false universal statement. You can't say in every case there's pressurized gas that there must be a container with it.
Okay, so in that case, that there's force exerted on the walls of a container by gas, there does not need to be a container, is what you just said.
Why are you assuming that there's a container? Here, just say the same sentence.
That's what gas pressure is, dude.
Try saying the same sentence you just said, but without the container and like the first part of it.
It wouldn't make any sense. It would be incoherent. All I'm doing, dude, is swapping the term gas pressure with its very definition. And every single time I do that, you go crazy because you don't know what the words you're saying mean.
No, because you can't comprehend why there's a container there in the first place.
Okay, comprehend for me comprehend for me how there can be no container for a force exerted on a container.
Do you need... Okay, anytime there's a force, right? You're telling me that
no, I didn't say
if I apply a force... Okay, sorry. If I apply a
there's a force, I'm talking about a specific force here, gas pressure.
Gas pressure is not a force, but okay.
Yeah, it is. You don't know what you're talking about.
You keep using
this term that you do not understand, dude.
Okay.
Why you're just blathering words nonsensically at this point? You don't have a clue what gas pressure means, so you might as well not be trying to
pressure's a force, bro. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's literally a force exerted on the walls of a container by gas. Are you? What the fuck, dude?
Okay, well now you
added
the second part.
Of gas pressure.
The second part. You said gas pressure was a force.
Now you're saying gas pressure is not a force.
It's not. Gas pressure is force over area or times.
I'm just shutting him up. He's retarded. It's not a force. Then he says it's a force. Are you kidding me right now?
I said it's force over area or whatever the fuck it is.
So it's a force. So it's a force then, even according to
force over area is a different unit. This is how physics works. You don't understand how basic physics works.
Force over area. That's all right, Carter. Carter, area of what? Right.
The ground. I already said.
So what about the air that's not against the ground?
There's a force applied to it. That's not a container.
From the area of what?
No, dude. The force is applied to the container, dude. The container isn't the force.
Okay, so where's this container that you're talking about for the atmosphere?
Pressure, something pressing on something, that's the force. The ground would be one of the walls of the container.
It's the ground. Is the ground just one side of the container?
Yep.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Where's the other sides?
That doesn't make any sense. How so?
Where's the other sides of the container?
Surfaces that it's colliding with. Well, you said that there's an edge of the gradient. I wanted to ask you about that. Maybe you have some clue because you were talking about the edge of your gradient. Is that something you can demonstrate, or you in your imagination with that?
Again, that was an abstract thought experiment, but you couldn't engage in that.
Yeah, not something in the real world, right?
You can't engage with any abstract.
So you're appealing to your imagination. That's the problem. Yeah, you're lost in the sauce.
Yeah, anytime you think abstractly, it's just imagination, and you should not think. You should.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the physical world. You've got no clue, dude. You're absolutely
abstract thought never helped anything. I know.
Yeah, I know. You're just lost in your abstractions. Fucking bullshit. Just mind wandering away into bullshit.
Yeah. So Carter, you've been asked what the definition of gas pressure is before, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what's the definition of gas pressure?
Force over area of a fluid.
Force. So it's a force exerted by.
The definition of gas pressure is force over an area of fluid.
Cite the definition for us. And also, you said force earlier. You said it's not a fucking force, and now you're calling it a force by definition. Dude. Get us a citation.
Okay,
cite it. Get us. Don't just pull it out of the sky, dude. Get us a citation for gas pressure. Tired of you making stuff up. Get it? Cite it.
All right.
Gas pressure. Should I just read it off? Should I just do it?
Nah. Let him step in it.
The force applied per indicator to the surface of the object per unit area. Over the force, over which the force is distributed.
Dude, citation. You know how to do a citation.
Okay. Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is not